you ready for it, folks? Are you ready for it tonight? Tonight's a big night. Tonight's the night everybody's been waiting for. It's the Star Wars bar scene come to life in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's exactly what this is going to look like. I can predict it right now. You can too. You know exactly what this is going to look like. You know what it's going to sound like, and it's the contrast. I mean, what's going to happen the next 3 nights and what happened last week in Tampa, the Republican convention, is going to be stark. It's going to be profound. Great to have you here, folks, as we kick off for all intents and purposes, since we had a best-of show yesterday, a full week of broadcast excellence. Telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is 800-282-2882. And the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. Boy, yesterday on the Sunday shows, the Democrats representing Obama just had no answer for the question, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? They had no, they were fumbling, bumbling, stumbling all around the answer to that question. We have all the relevant audio sound bites to illustrate this. The Clint Eastwood bit at the Republican National Convention is still being talked about, which is testimony alone to its effectiveness. You know what? Everybody who's analyzing this, and I must include myself in the first 10 minutes of his routine, forgot. He's an actor. He's an actor. Everything that happened in Eastwood's gig was intended to happen. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't bumbling. It didn't take him a while to get going. It was exactly what it was intended to be. And you know what it really was? He was, among many other things, he was telling people who have a sentimental attachment to the historical nature of the one's presidency, i.e., he's the first black president. Some people are going to vote for Obama just for that reason alone, just like they voted for him originally for that reason alone. Eastwood was giving them permission. It's okay. When somebody's not doing a job, we let them go. That's all he was. He was telling those people, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's like everybody else. If they're screwing up, well, it's time to let them go. And he may not be the guy that you think he is. He may not be this nice guy if you look at some of the ads running out there. So and the empty chair. The empty chair day yesterday, because, Sandra, why does it get under their skin? Because Obama has never been ridiculed in his life. He's never been made fun of. You just don't do it. And now he's being laughed at. It's a whole new world for Obama. He's not been laughed at. He's not been mocked. He's not been ridiculed. That's what he does. That's what the Alinskyeites do. It doesn't happen to them. And that's why it got into, and of course, the empty chair also means empty suit. And I think the reason it's getting under their skin, another reason, is that it has an element of truth in it, which is what made it effective. It was masterfully done. It was extremely, extremely well done. And I notice all of the, put it to you this way. If Eastwood had come out, and I think everybody was expecting him to come out and do a traditional convention political speech. And if he had done that, which is what people were expecting, it would have just gotten lost in the panoply of speeches. And just some Hollywood guy. But this one, everybody says these things are so scripted and they're so predictable. This was totally off the wall. And purposely, it was masterfully done. And of course, Eastwood is masterful at what he does. He's a director, he's a producer, he's an actor. He memorizes lines for a living. And I think it was really, really well done. Even some of the early analysts on our side, the button-down coat and tie crowd, wringing their hands, worried, oh no, even they have come along. If you heard, they're requiring a photo ID to attend the Democrat convention. That is true. It is true. It's very racist. Not only are they requiring a photo ID to attend, you have to produce it 3 times. You have to produce a photo ID 3 times to get in the door. You even have to show a photo ID to get close to the convention center. Apparently, Democrats are trying to suppress their own delegates. Well, I tell you what. Well, Snurdly just said next thing you know, going to be asking for a birth certificate. Get this. I'm not making this up. I'm not kidding you. You're going to think I am. You have to prove your citizenship to buy an Obama birth certificate mug or T-shirt. They're selling those. They sell birth certificate mugs and T-shirts. The Democrats do. You have to prove your citizenship to buy one of those because it's a campaign contribution. I kid you not, folks. Snurdly's in there laughing. He's got fluids coming out of every bodily orifice in there laughing so hard. It's true. You can imagine they get so upset when you talk about, who was it, Romney. He's never had to show where he proof where he. They went nuts. They're the ones out there selling all this birth certificate stuff, trying to make money out. They're going to be busing people in left and right. They're really worried not filling up that 73,000 Bank of America stadium. And they're not, folks, I just want to tell you, if they do fill it up, it's because they've bussed a bunch of people in from all over the place, young people, and brought them there because it's not going to happen of its own volition. Obama's not even selling out or filling up 20,000-seat arenas now. In some places, smaller than that. You know, I love these stories. They come along the pike, down the pike now and then, and they just serve me so well. Organic food, no healthier than non-organic. Yes, this is from Reuters Health. Organic produce and meat typically isn't any better for you than conventional varieties. Now, I'm not targeting those of you in the organic food market. I appreciate entrepreneurism. And if the environmentalist wackos are going to come along and tell people that eating chicken and vegetables that has been lathered in dung is healthier for them than the processed, fine. And then it's just like if the wackos convince a bunch of customers that buying something green's good, go green. Fine, I understand the marketing totally, but I also love the truth. Organic produce and meat typically isn't any better for you than conventional varieties when it comes to vitamin and nutrient content, according to a new review of the evidence. However, organic options may live up to their billing of lowering exposure to pesticide residue and antibiotic-resistant bacteria. This is from researchers at Stanford, but it isn't any healthier. It's got no more vitamins, no more nutrients, same vitamins, all that stuff. Organic tastes better? Really? You know, I wouldn't. I got to be very careful here because the people in the organic foods business, and we love business people, I wouldn't know the difference. I saw the other day some guy at Organic Egg Farm won an award for the best eggs anywhere. What? It's all how you cook the stuff. If you put butter on anything, you're going to think it's better. That's why male chefs are better than female, because they don't fear of any using butter. My dad always made this point. Always, you're going to go to a 5-star restaurant, make sure the chef is a man. If it's a woman, there won't be any butter anywhere near it. And it's Snurdly laughing again with more fluids coming out of every bodily orifice. He did. My dad did say that to me. With my mother sitting right there, and she's nodding in agreement. She hid the butter in our refrigerator. I'm not kidding. Well, because it's supposedly so fattening and all that. But, can you imagine if there's just one empty seat at Bank of America Stadium on Thursday night? Fox will find it. CNN and MSNBC won't. If there's an empty seat, it will be found. Somebody sent me a picture over the weekend, first known picture of Karl Marx with Obama. And it was a picture of Marx standing next to an empty chair. This stuff, it's all over the place out there. It's okay. I have done something for you. I have put together all of the news reports that I have seen about the convention in summary form, just to give you a flavor for what a big mess this thing could potentially be. First, at the top of the list, Clinton will not hand over his speech to anybody. As of now, Bill Clinton has not let anybody see the speech he's going to give. This is not done. Everybody who pens a speech, writes it, turns it in, has it vetted, convention organizers, of course, because it's Obama's convention, his people are going to look at it. Clinton hasn't turned his in and says he's not going to. Bill O'Reilly, in a rare excursion into humor, did you hear about this? Suggested that when Sandra Fluke speaks, instead of dropping balloons, they drop condoms. And more bodily fluids emanating from the cavities of the face of Mr. Snerdley. Yep. And Sandra Fluke is profoundly offended by this, by the way. They're worried. No, don't even tempt me with that condom comment. We're just going to assume they're all brand new and unused. Anyway, it's O'Reilly's idea. Sandra Fluke is profoundly offended by this. But she says that she's going to persevere, despite this latest insult. Oh, man, wouldn't that be great? A condom drop. If we hadn't mentioned, if O'Reilly hadn't mentioned it, the Democrats might have come with that on their own. Then there's a story, there's a massive bedbug infestation in hotels in Charlotte. Right. It's amazing. Shortly after the delegates arrived, exterminators began to discover bedbugs in a number of the hotels. And they're not the delegates. They are actual bedbugs. There was a California delegate who showed up, got rip-roaring, destructively drunk, like rock star drunk, and they sent him home. The union thugs are ticked off that they are in North Carolina in the first place. They are really mad. And they're giving angry speeches about Romney and the Republicans. Barney Frank, I kid you not, I've got the picture. Barney Frank checked into his hotel, it's one of the Marriotts there, with a leather belt around his neck, buckled. The kind of belt you would wear in your slacks. Barney Frank, photo from the side, on his right side, checking into the hotel with a leather belt buckled around his neck. Don't understand it. I'm not going to offer any analysis. I'm just telling you, I've got the picture. I'm just sharing with you some of the news stories that I've seen as I've been feverishly prepping the busy broadcast today. The governor of North Carolina, Beverly Dumplins Perdue, says that if we're not careful, we're going to find wire coat hangers in the bathtubs where women go to have abortions. If Republicans start winning elections, we're going to see bathtub abortions with wire coated. The governor of North Carolina made this claim. The weather forecast is for thunderstorms daily, late in the afternoon, moving through there, which has happened. There are record high gasoline prices over the Labor Day weekend, record high gasoline prices. The deficit, the national debt, is going to hit $16 trillion during the Democrat National Convention. Democrat-run cities and states are in economic freefall, and the mayors of many of those cities and the governors of many of those states are in Charlotte with speaking engagements at the convention. Vice President Biden said that he would be happy to tell people how we're better off now than we were 4 years ago, but it was too hot and he had to get back inside. The Democrat Party is shrinking. There is a story out, came out over the weekend. It might have been a Rasmussen poll. More Americans self-identify as Republicans than Democrats for the first time in I don't know how many years. Now, it has always been the case in recent years that people self-identify as conservatives almost 2-to-1. Latest numbers on that was 40% say they're conservative, 20% say they're liberal. This is party ID. Self-identification as Republicans leads self-identified Democrats for the first time in a long time. The mayor of Chicago can't stay in Charlotte long. He's got to get back to Chicago to stop the bloodshed there. The gangbangers are still killing people. The empty chair is still alive and kicking. The faded poster is still being mentioned. And the "you didn't build that" theme, that has survived the Republican. That's just what I've assembled before they've even started this thing. So you sit tight, my friends. We got a poll from thehill.com. It's not good for the regime. My guess is this poll mirrors their own polling, their own internal polling. Details coming up right after this first obscene profit timeout.